Can I beat Super Mario 3D Land without touching a single block? Well, this is something I attempted a couple months ago, but you know what? After we beat Bowser for good, we are rewarded with 8 special worlds full of amazing new levels to explore. Today, we'll be attempting to beat those stages without touching a single yucky block. And this is the type of challenge that I just cannot do on an empty stomach. Which is why I'm happy to tell you about today's sponsor, HelloFresh. I realize I always eat the same 2 to 3 recipes every single week, and it's kinda boring. But with HelloFresh, all I have to do is go to their website, browse through the recipes, pick the ones I want to eat, and the next week someone goes ding dong, and bada bing bada boom, I have food right in front of me. The ingredients are all fresh from suppliers, and they have been selected carefully by the HelloFresh team. I got a bunch of delicious looking recipes this week, but the one I definitely want to try soon is the smoky beef cheeseburgers with potato wedges and caramelized onions. Sounds tasty. And it is! It was actually pretty good! And look, this is the picture, and this is my version. Hey, I'm pretty good, right? Use my code HFNico or click the link in the description to get up to 20 free meals. Thank you so much HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. World 1-1 starts off by giving away a free statue leaf power-up on top of this tree trunk. It's a good thing I didn't have to hit a block to get such a cool power-up. Speaking of, there's not a lot of blocks on the way, so making it to the top won't take too long. Those things over there are spring platforms and not spring blocks, so I am allowed to touch them. But just for fun, I did some wall jumps instead and still made my way to the end. 1-2 didn't contain a single block on my way, and that's a good thing, because this level involves Shadow Mario running after you, and that is a bit spooky. 1-3 was a total joke, as all I had to do was to get inside the cannons and shoot myself to the next platform up until I reached the flagpole. 1-4 was pretty simple as well, although this warp box kinda tricked me. It does look like a block, but technically it is not. It's a box. Look at the wiki. Warp box. There you go. Anyways, I don't even need to enter it as I can just glide to the other side. 1-castle is up, and yet again, there's not a lot of blocks on the way, so it won't be too long before you reach the switch and defeat Dry Bowser. And then afterwards, we have no choice but to enter the warp box. But once again, it's a box, not a block. Oh look, we can now play as my boy Luigi. Let's give the spotlight to my favorite green dude. World 2-1 actually gave me a bit of a challenge. This stage is an auto-scrolling one, and it does feature its fair share of note blocks, brick blocks, and other things we need to avoid touching. Thankfully, I had my Tanuki leaf, and that allowed me to wait for the perfect moment to glide from one lift platform to the next without needing to jump on a single block. 2-2 does contain a few blocks here and there, but we can swim above them all, so it's no big deal. 2-3 is full of those green lift platforms, and navigating on them isn't too complicated. I soon reach the end and enter this green pipe, only to be met with this. Uh-oh, we actually have to hit this red block in order to spawn those yellow blocks to reach the flagpole. I tried gliding as a Tanuki, but I just couldn't cross the pit no matter what. Looks like this level will be impossible for this quest. We don't actually have to hit the red block, but we do have to jump on top of it to make it to the end. So yeah, that kinda sucks. But that's only one block, so I'm sure we can avoid every single one after that. 2-4 will actually force you to fly using a propeller box, and thankfully, it's a box, not a block. The level isn't too difficult, thankfully. 2-5 is full of green tile bridges, so you have to hit the switches and then run on them, but once again, these things are tiles, not blocks, so we're all good. 2-airship was pretty easy, and there wasn't a boss fight, so we can make our way to the next level. World 3-1 was full of tilting platforms, but no blocks. But 3-2 is filled to the brim with floating colored blocks. Yeah, I guess those technically count as blocks, as they are floating cubes, and by definition a block is a large solid piece of material with flat surfaces on each side. So for that reason, this level is out of the question and is impossible. 3-3 doesn't contain any dangerous blocks, so just jump from one rope to the next until you reach the end. 3-4 was pretty simple, and 3-5 wasn't too bad. There's a bunch of beat blocks appearing and disappearing to the music, but we can actually skip all of them using the Tanuki gliding. Jump from one airship to the next until you get to the end of 3-airship, and that will get us to World 4-1, which was actually quite simple as it doesn't contain a single block. 4-2 doesn't contain blocks, but it contains the very annoying Shadow Mario. 4-3 contains none of those previous things. 4-4 contains a couple blocks near the end, but considering this is a vertical level, we can just fly around all of those and beat the stage. 4-5 only contains some platforms and no blocks, so we're good. Finally, 4-airship contains a couple enemies but was pretty easy, just like using my promo code on HelloFresh! World 5-1 was pretty simple, and 5-2 was also kind of easy. 5-3 did contain a few walls of brick blocks, but as you can see, there's plenty of room to dodge them all with your Tanuki suit. 5-4 is full of delicious looking cookies, but no blocks. 5-5 is super simple. Basically, enter the boxes with coins next to them until you reach the end flagpole. That's it. 5-Castle was not very complicated, and defeating Dry Bowser will be done quite easily, and most importantly, without touching a block. World 6-1 normally wants you to hit one of these blocks to get a propeller box and then reach the top, but we can just do some wall jumps on these two walls to reach the door and get to the top. 6-2 doesn't contain any blocks, and the same thing goes for 6-3. Sadly, 6-4 is yet another level filled with those colored blocks spinning in the sky. Obviously, we have to touch them, so this level is not possible. 6-5 is full of spooky ghosts, but no spooky blocks. 6-airship features Boom Boom the Mad Lad, but that's not the worst, nope. Look at these moving blocks that are actually alive. Ugh, this is terrifying. World 7-1 was kinda simple, and 7-2 is a repeat of the beat block level, and if you remember this from earlier, we can actually just skip all of those beat blocks by gliding super far away, so we're good. 7-3 was also quite easy to clear, and 7-4 was a total joke. 7-5 didn't feature that many blocks, and finally 7-Castle does contain a couple blocks on the way, but we can always jump above them. World 8-1 was kinda simple to clear, and 8-2 wasn't particularly difficult. 8-3 does contain a few blocks here and there, but we can easily dodge them all. 8-4 is full of spinning cylinders, but no blocks, and 8-5 is, well, actually pretty much the same. Lots of round things, very few blocky things. That's good, I guess. 8-Bowser is the final stage, and to be fair, it wasn't very difficult. So yeah, we did it, I guess. Oh, as for 8-Crown, well, it is actually full of blocks we absolutely have to walk on. We cannot glide to safety, and yeah, this level is basically impossible for the quest. So no, it is not possible to beat the special worlds from Super Mario 3D Land without touching a single block. World 2-3, 3-2, and 6-4 were the problematic levels that forced us to touch yucky blocks. But you know what? This was actually a pretty easy challenge beside those levels. Thanks a lot for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe, smash like, and as for me, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!